Emergency video. Emergency video. Holy good lord. What the fluff? We don't want to be cursing too much, you know? Welcome to my pink-looking, red-looking self. Lads, the title is not lying. Jordan Bianchi has dropped another Jordan bomb, and it's a big one. News! Jimmie Johnson is finalizing a deal. It's not completed, but finalizing a deal to obtain an ownership stake within Petty GMS starting in 2023. Sources close to Johnson and Petty GMS have told The Athletic. The Athletic is truly wonderful. Guys, I'm not even lying to you. This is not a sponsored video. This is not The Athletic reaching out to me because they don't even know who I am. Neither does Jordan Bianchi. Like, The Athletic is actually genuinely awesome. I do pay for their subscription. I really think you guys should just my opinion. I know, like, you could, Twitter will give you the headlines, but The Athletic, it's great journalism. Johnson will also drive in select races for the team. Yes, Jimmie Johnson will also drive in select races for the team. An announcement is expected this week. That is insane. Now, what races will he do? Oh, probably not plate races and stuff like that, but I'm sure he'll want to try out some road course stuff. I'm sure he might want to give Martinsville, go back to Martinsville, give that a shot. Maybe some tracks he never raced at before. I mean, did he ever race at Nashville in the Cup Series? I don't even think he did. So maybe something like that. But yeah, maybe like a new configuration of a track. Auto Club will be coming soon, but he is getting an ownership stake. That's actually the most important thing. Well, no, that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that beautiful, handsome, 7-time champion, but not the greatest driver of Hendrick Motorsports all time. We all know that is Jeff Gordon. Do not debate me on that. Jeff Gordon is the greatest driver in history. Okay? That is a subjective and biased opinion, but you will not change my mind. All right? He has more wins than Jimmie. That's all I'm going to say. He might not have more championships, but he has more wins. That's all I bet. But yeah, he getting the ownership stake is a huge deal. Obviously, that's why Keselowski went to Roush Fenway Keselowski. That's why Tony Stewart started up SHR, basically. It's a big deal. I don't think Kyle Busch got any with the RCR thing. I don't think he did. But essentially, these drivers want, those ownership stakes. Obviously, Denny Hamlin with 23XI Racing as well. So if you can do that, that is what you want to do. And now there have been, there's rumors now flying all over the place. Like, could there be an alliance between GMS and Hendrick? Because obviously, Petty GMS, it's very likely there's 2 Chevy teams that could happen. Could it be a satellite team? I don't think that will happen. I would love for it to happen because personally, for me, I want more teams being as strong as possible. And fairly enough, Petty GMS became a satellite team of Hendrick. They would just become stronger and basically be more competitive. So that's, it would be like Joe Gibbs with 23XI. It's kind of like how I view it. I want more teams. I don't really care that they are, affiliated with a top team and they couldn't do it themselves. Like, Trackhouse Racing was the outlier, which I love. They are like now really just awesome. They have a car in the championship 4. Like, seriously, that's really good. And the way, Justin Marks runs the team and everything, that's awesome. But yeah, Jimmie Johnson running races. He's back in NASCAR. It's quite surprising. I didn't really follow Jimmie a lot with IndyCar because I just don't follow IndyCar a lot in general. But, I did see, like, he was basically struggling, which is not a surprise. You're not just going to go into a different discipline and expect to, like, really be that competitive. I mean, he tried, but he didn't really seem like he could ever get his feet wet and settled there in IndyCar. So he wants to come back, and I think, really, I just think he's bored. Like, I'm genuinely, that's the real opinion I have, is I think Jimmie is just bored. Like, when he retired from NASCAR, he still wants to race. He didn't retire from racing. But he does, he wants to come back and do some stuff, and I still expect him to do other stuff, whether it be in like GT cars or some other stuff around the world that he wants to do. That would be awesome. I mean, he is a race car driver. I don't really know many of the things he has off of the racetrack. Like, Jimmie Johnson was never as marketable as like a Dale Earnhardt or Jeff Gordon. Like, he never really marketed himself in that way, if you know what I mean, with all the off-track stuff. Like, Jimmie really focused on the racetrack, on his fitness. That's really what he focused on. He didn't really do a lot of the off-market stuff and stuff like that. This now sets him up, for the rest of his life, essentially, having an ownership stake with Petty GMS, and it also allows him to race. And honestly, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but him being allowed to race whenever really he wants is awesome. Like, I think he can choose whatever race he wants to do. He doesn't have to put himself in danger. Like, he doesn't have to do Daytona. He doesn't have to do, you know, it would be cool to see him do the Daytona 500 and go for another Daytona 500 win. That would be awesome. But would he want to put himself in that kind of danger? Because obviously, you know, the big wrecks and everything, I don't think he'd want to. A lot of drivers don't want to do Daytona and Talladega, even if it is the Daytona 500. But, you know, the races that he wants to do, he can do. I'm so excited. It's not confirmed, but when Jordan Bianchi puts something out, it's 99.9%. Like, he's not going to put something out that he does not feel confident in with all his sources and everything. So that is just, what do you guys think in the comments down below? I saw it. I saw the news late. It came out 7:44 p.m. I saw it like at 8:30, 8:45. So I saw it late. But my first reaction was like, whoa. Like, whoa. Like, I think about it, it's kind of weird, but Jimmie Johnson, you know, he left after Dale Jr. You know, he left after Gordon and all that. But it's been a while since Jimmie raced, and so the thought of him coming back never really occurred to me. I never thought it would happen, because I just thought those last 3 years where he was really struggling, I mean, it was kind of just, that was it, you know? Like, I didn't really see him wanting to come back. I thought he would just kind of do his own thing. So, to be honest, this is just really good for NASCAR. Let's talk about it from NASCAR's perspective. The amount they can push with this, I mean, it's great to have him back in the sport. Like, could you imagine Richard Petty, and Jimmie Johnson with an ownership being championship 4 contenders, like being competitive? Could you imagine? Now, this is my little dream, right? But this cannot hurt NASCAR in something that I think that they lack. What they lack is the team aspect of things. They, you know, the marketing is usually pushed around the drivers, and even then I feel like that could be better. But with Formula One, you know, we all know who Christian Horner is. We all know who Toto Wolff is. We all know who Zach Martin is. We all know these guys because they always put themselves in the spotlight. They're always there. They're always public. They're always talking, and it creates the drama. Like, racing motorsport is drama. It's that's what it is. And just hold on with me. Think about this. One day, which I hope it happens. I pray it will eventually happen. One day, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is able to get Junior Motorsports into the Cup Series, and then that would probably be the Hendrick satellite team whenever that does happen, which is why I don't think it'll happen with Petty GMS. But, you know, one day Dale Jr. gets into the Cup Series. You have Junior, you have Jimmie Johnson, you have Jeff Gordon running Hendrick Motorsports, you have Tony Stewart with SHR, you have Keselowski when he steps away, he's going to be with Roush Fenway, you have Denny Hamlin with 23XI along with Michael Jordan. Do you see what I'm getting at here? Not only do you have all the drivers, but now you have all the owners, and then you can really start pushing the storylines around the ownership, the fact that Jimmy and Jeff and Dale and Denny and Tony and all these guys that we grew up with will be at the track and they're owning these teams, and that just adds a layer on top of the entire sport that is awesome. That is awesome, because we know one day Rick Hendrick is going to step aside, and we know that Jeff Gordon will take over. And then if you could imagine having Jeff and Jimmy and you know, Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt Jr. and all those guys, all part of like the top teams. Like, the only top team essentially that wouldn't really have like an ownership stake, 2 top teams, would be Penske, which Keselowski tried getting but he couldn't, and Joe Gibbs Racing, which is technically Ty Gibbs Racing. So it is what it is. Like, Ty Gibbs Racing will play the villain role, while all the other teams that have former drivers as owners will play the hero role. There you go. That's the drama. That's perfect. Wonderful. I mean, that's kind of my little dream. I hope that happens in the next 5 years or whatever it is. It's really like, I've been saying it forever. I want Dale Jr. to own, to have a Cup team. He already owns a team, but to have the Cup team, I want it so bad. And I just hope that one day that will happen if the charter prices and all that stuff and something comes up that he can do it. I pray to God and hope that it eventually does happen. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of my little dream. Do not yell at me for saying Jeff Gordon's the greatest driver of all time. It is just my subjective opinion. He was better than Earnhardt, proved it. He's better than Jimmie Johnson. Don't at me with the chase. It is what it is. It happened. He now is basically the owner of Hendrick Motorsports. Jeff Gordon is a gem, okay? And he is the greatest of all time. I don't even believe it myself. Yeah, I'm saying it, but I don't even truly believe it. It's just my fandom. I don't really have fandom anymore, lads. I don't. But for Gordon, it'll never go away. Let me know what you think of everything. Comment down below. Did it catch you by surprise? It caught me by surprise. And hopefully when it is officially announced, that Jimmie will let us know what he does. And I might want to go to a race. I want to see if I can go to a race where he's racing, because that would be kind of cool. That would be the one driver I'd be like, can I ask you for a photo, please? By the way, can you get Jeff along as well? Can I get both of you? Have a good night. Take care of yourselves. Peace out.